Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a bit of a different video, but I'm going to be answering your curly haired questions. So recently on my Instagram, I put up a question box in my story. I asked people to submit their questions, their curiosities, things that they need help with about curly hair. I do try to do frequent Q&As on my Instagram, but sometimes I just find it so limiting because I can't really go into detail without spamming with multiple stories. So I thought, what better way now that I'm like a bit more active on YouTube to actually just answer all the questions in this video. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'd love to have you there. It's sophiemariecurly, the same as all my socials. I am shocked at how many questions there were for this one, but what I've tried to do so that I can cover as many topics as possible, I've like combined questions together. Okay, let's go to the first question. Why don't you follow the CGM, as in curly girl method? Okay, this is a loaded question. I'm almost thinking I might do an entirely separate video on this because there are so many reasons why I don't actually follow it. I really don't want to ramble too much on this one, so let's just put it into two parts. Okay, firstly, what is the Curly Girl Method CGM? So the Curly Girl Method is a handbook that was written by Lorraine Massey. Lorraine Massey, I believe, was a hairstylist at the time. This was like in 2001 or 2, so around that time. And it was a handbook with a set of guidelines, or some people like to say rules because they are quite rigid, on how to look after and care for curls. So that's essentially what it is. When I was first embracing my hair, I would type in online, you know, I knew nothing at this time, how to look after my curls, how do I get my curls back? So I was Googling all this stuff that was going on Instagram, all social media sites, and this was in 2020. And the only thing that just kept coming up was the Curly Girl Method, and I had not heard of this at all before. Like, I didn't know this existed. There were so many like Facebook groups and things where people were like swearing by this method, and it just appeared to be this thing that you had to follow to get your curls back. I just thought, let me follow these guidelines, rules, whatever, and hopefully it works. So the first thing I did was open up my hair drawer and I looked at all the products I had. Because I wasn't doing like curly styling routines like using mousses or gels or creams yet, I didn't have all of that, but I had stuff that I used to use like when I straightened my hair. So like heat protectants, shine sprays. I had that Got To Be shine spray. I don't know if you've used that before. I just put them all in a box and put them at the back of my wardrobe or something because I just thought I need them out of sight, out of mind, you know? And then second, stop straightening my hair. That's something I was going to do anyway because I was very aware that I had the heat damage and I knew that I did have to put the straighteners away for a bit. So everything was going really smoothly. I was kind of sticking to all these guidelines and I think I did start to see a little bit of progress. But I would say around like 3.5 full months into doing this, I had serious scalp problems. I had extreme buildup on my scalp. My hair felt very dry. Couldn't really work out what the issue was. And I was starting to freak out a bit because I noticed like a bit more hair loss than normal. I was just panicking and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna use a shampoo that I knew used to work for me, regardless of if it had sulfates in it or not. And how ridiculous is this? But I was actually genuinely scared. I was like, oh my God, if anyone finds out. And then I went to Sainsbury's and I bought an old shampoo that I used to love and I now still use to this day. And it was the E45 cleansing shampoo. And I knew that that cleansed my hair. So I was thinking, right, I'm just gonna see like what happens. And I washed my hair with this stuff and no joke, that was the best curly hair wash day I had in the entire 4 months. Obviously, like with consistent healthy hair practices, like on my ends, my curls were beginning to like come back a little bit. But something about cleansing my scalp and all my hair, like my curls looked absolutely like amazing like for me at that time. I was like, do you know what? This Curly Girl Method, I'm not too sure about it. And I stopped the whole thing. The only thing I continued to not do was straighten my hair because I knew that that was going to set me back at the time. I don't know why I'm holding my phone in the air. So yeah, I introduced silicones back in and I love using silicones. They really protect your hair. Like, there's so many reasons why I love silicones. I'm going to do an entire separate video on this because I'm already spending too long on this question. Would you ever straighten your hair again? I know you all think I'm going to say no, but I'm actually not. I'm gonna say, yeah, I would straighten my hair again. I have straightened my hair, by the way, since starting this curly journey, and it is confusing sometimes, I know, but I do not recommend straightening your hair when you're on the mission to like reversing damage or getting your natural state of hair back, because straightening your hair will set you back. Try to just completely reduce heat if possible. Obviously, diffusing is heat, but then, you know, just be careful with how you're diffusing. Use heat protectants and things, but actually full on straightening your hair when your hair's really damaged, I definitely don't recommend. I know that was a really big contributor for me to actually get my hair healthy again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with straightening your hair once your hair is healthy. Just don't do it all the time. If you do it all the time, you're going to end up at square one again. So yeah, I would straighten my hair again. I was actually thinking recently I might straighten my hair. I don't know, for a change of style. There's nothing wrong with it. When you are straightening your hair, just make sure that you use good products as well to protect your hair in the process, like good heat protectants, oils and things. Just look after your hair. How did you increase your density and length? Okay, so these are two different questions that I've combined into one. A lot of people ask about density because I'm quite vocal about how my hair feels a lot thicker and it has changed a lot over time. A lot of people get confused with thickness and density. They're two different things. Density is the amount of hairs on your scalp. Thickness is the actual like thickness of a strand. Someone's hair can feel thick, but they might have fine strands. Someone's hair might be less dense, but their strands are really thick. The situation is that, like, when I was younger, my hair was dense. I had a lot of hair. When I went through this phase of neglecting my hair and damaging it, I lost a lot. And now, because I'm looking after my hair and I'm looking after my body a bit more about, you know, what I eat and things, I feel like I'm just restoring what I used to be. I did and I do have alopecia. I get small spots of hair about that size. The biggest one's probably been like that. And it's just like hair falling out the scalp like a bald, shiny spot. It was very scary the first time I got it. I was in tears because I didn't know if that was going to escalate all over my head or if I was going to lose all of my hair. Since I have been a bit less stressed, since I've been eating better and looking after my scalp, so cleansing it properly, I have noticed less alopecia. It might be a coincidence. I don't know. I don't fully understand it. I have been really lucky that the patches that have fallen out have grown back again, but there is one patch I do have in my head. I think it's like there somewhere, and it doesn't really grow back, this one. It's quite small, but it's very obvious sometimes in hairstyles. What I would suggest is, if you do have alopecia and you've also got similar symptoms to what I'm experiencing, make sure you go to your doctor. Like, please just go and get professional help. Don't rely on people online without experience to inform you on it. I can't inform you on it because we're so individual, and you might not even have alopecia, it might be something else. So the best thing is to always go and see a professional. When I was younger, I had really lovely long hair, long curly hair. It was really healthy. And then I started straightening it. And over time, because I just didn't stop with the straightening, it just began to break off the ends. I wore extensions for like quite a long time in my 20s, like here and there. They were just like clip-in ones that I used to get. But I think that could have contributed to thinning or like hair fall. And now I do feel like it is really starting to grow. I guess when I pull it down, you can't even see in the camera. It's like there. I'd say, do I have like medium length hair, I think? So healthy hair practices in general are going to contribute to two things. If you're cleansing your hair and looking after your scalp, then hopefully you're promoting a healthy scalp environment for growth. So scalp care. The other side of it is looking after the length that you had. Obviously hair is already dead. This is dead. But if your hair is really split and you're not getting regular trims, or you're not like sealing your hair or protecting it, and that's why I often use a lot of products. I use certain layers for protection, not just for aesthetic purposes. Because I have been so consistent in doing this, that's going to be a big factor for why my hair has managed to grow a bit. I'm not sure if you're going to like what I'm about to say, but I genuinely think the biggest thing for me has been what I have actually physically consumed as opposed to topical. I can't give actual advice on this because I'm no nutritionist at all, but I can only speak from my personal experience. Beginning of June 2022, so the June just gone, I went on a fitness journey. I started going to the gym really regularly, mainly resistance training, because I turned 30 last year and I felt really unfit and I wanted to get in shape and I wanted to feel healthy and strong. Because I was in this routine and still am of working out and resistance training, it meant that I had to like really look at what I was eating to make sure I was eating enough protein, accompanying that with like certain vegetables, and I've just been eating more of balance essentially, and I do feel like that has contributed to my hair growth. Okay, next question. Who is and was your curly creator inspo? So like, what curly hair creators inspired me at the start? Okay, so my inspiration at the beginning, this is actually genuinely a bit embarrassing. One girl that I followed and still follow is Amanda Guido. I think that's how you say her last name. Amanda kept popping up on my Instagram and I just used to think, wow, I still think, wow, her hair is gorgeous. Like, I absolutely love her curls. And I remember saving lots of her videos. Her tips were so useful. I love the hairstyles that she used to do. So I actually screenshot one of her photos and I put it on my vision board. And the reason I'm laughing is because she follows me now, and if she ever sees this, it will probably be hilarious. I don't think she watches my YouTube videos, but yeah, I put her on my vision board, and that answers your question. Who is and was your curly creator inspo? Oh, I don't think I've ever been asked this question. Is there a product you used to love and now hate? Hate is a strong word. I would rephrase that as, there are products I used to love that now no longer serve my curls, like they no longer work. And that has probably got a lot to do with my hair changing, because when your hair is in a certain state, it needs certain things. And as your hair gets healthier, it maybe doesn't need those things anymore. Just because something doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for you. So just got to say that before I mention any products. But two products I used to absolutely swear by that no longer work for me. It doesn't mean they won't in the future, just currently right now, they don't make my hair look good. Are the Shea Moisture Miracle, I can't remember the exact name, but it's Miracle something in it. If you actually scroll all the way down on my Instagram, which I don't recommend because, yeah, a bit embarrassing. I use that a lot, like in all my videos, and it really, really helped me. And I think it's a great product, but it just doesn't work for me anymore. And I'm not really sure why. It just doesn't. So yeah, I won't be buying that anytime again soon, but I might buy it again in the future and test it out. Maybe I'll do a video one day, like testing my old hair routine again on my healthy hair. But I think it's a great product, and I do like how it's got that spray applicator that made it a lot easier than like a squirty cream. But another product I used to use in conjunction with that, I also shared that like a lot on my Instagram, was the Cake Beauty Mousse. I absolutely love this mousse and I used it to death. I used it in May, just gone, like May 2022, and I did not like the results at all. But my results were incredible in the past. So sometimes just things change and like they don't work anymore. It doesn't mean I'll never use these products again, but if that answers your question, there are some products that used to work for me and now don't. What were your most used products of 2022? And before I mention them, it doesn't mean I don't love other products, by the way, because I shared something similar on my stories recently around like my favorite products, or like the most used products of 2022. And some people were like, but don't you still love this product? And I was like, no, I love a lot of products, but these were just the ones I kept going back to. I'm going to show you these products in order of which I would use them. It doesn't mean I would use all of these together, but just in the order of use. This one is basically empty. I have gone through so many Miracle Shield heat protectants from Curlsmith. It's a heat defense for UV, environmental, heat tools. Like, not only do I use this as like a heat protectant in my routine along with other products, and my hair loves this just on its own as a one and done, and I think that's why I've gone through it so many times, because when I've needed like a wash and go type wash day, that's what I've used. This curl conditioning leave-in spray from Imbue. You would have seen me use this a lot. I absolutely love it. It's a great leave-in conditioner. I just love how it smells. I love how lightweight it is. And I've refreshed my hair with this a lot. I've gone through a lot of these, and you can buy this in Superdrug. Next up is not going to be a surprise, Shine Cream from Curlsmith. This is a lightweight leave-in cream conditioner. It's fragrance free and it's colour safe as well, which is really important for me because I do colour my hair a lot. Yeah, I just absolutely love this. My curls love it. Next, the Styling Souffle from Curlsmith. This has got to be like one of my favourite gels of all times. This just gives me the juiciest bouncy curls. It's like an 8 out of 10 hold, so that's strong, and it does give you that crunchy cast that you just scrunch out with your hands or an oil. But this just really gives my hair amazing definition, and I will continue to use this. They also have a travel size version, and I found that I always take that away with me, like the travel one, because this guarantees me the juiciest curls. Like if I've got an event, this is the gel I'm using. The Moroccan Oil from Moroccan Oil. This is nearly empty, and I'm sad because this is very expensive. So I have been using this for 15 years. So you could say that this is my most used product ever. And this serum is something I've repurchased a lot. It's the Style Expertise Anti-Frizz Taming Serum from Superdrug. Spoken about this on my channel. It's very, very nice. It smells amazing. It looks thick, but then like when you rub it together like this, it really thins out and it's just absolutely glorious. And that was like the most used products. But that doesn't mean I didn't use other things. I use other things a lot, but if I had to narrow it down, they were the most used. What affordable cleansing shampoos would you recommend? So I love the Simple shampoo. I'll put it on the screen here. I find it really cleansing. It's not too stripping. I would just make sure I use something really conditioning afterwards, but it does get rid of a lot. You can buy that in a lot of supermarkets and like Superdrug and Boots, I believe. Another one, which is one of my favorites, is the E45 shampoo. My scalp loves it. It cleanses my scalp really nicely. I often pair that with a conditioner that isn't as affordable, but I absolutely love. Oh, that is something I should have mentioned in my most used products. I completely forgot. But the calming conditioner from Curlsmith, I've gone through a lot of that stuff. It's really nice. You can use it on the scalp for 2 minutes, then rinse it out. I often paired that E45. So I would shampoo my hair with that, and then I'd go in with that calming conditioner, and that would kind of like restore my scalp if I accidentally stripped it a bit. Another affordable like shampoo and conditioner together that I loved is Hask or Hask. I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. They are quite inexpensive, I think. You can also buy those in a lot of supermarkets in the UK and in like Superdrug and Boots. They were really good like everyday shampoo and conditioners, and they're really, really cheap. Okay, last question because I'm conscious that I have been rambling. What products do I need as a curly beginner? I love this question and it's a great one to leave on. This is where I think you should start. Let's start with washing your hair. I would make sure that you have a shampoo that cleanses so you know that it's capable of removing buildup, and a conditioner that is easy to detangle with. Earlier on I recommended my favourite affordable cleansing shampoos, so maybe refer to that. So a cleansing shampoo and a conditioner, done. Wash day products. Styling products. I would just stick with 2. Okay, let's just keep it like really simple. Like you're starting out, you don't want to overwhelm or confuse yourself. One product you want to get for prep, for priming and like conditioning or moisturizing your hair. So either a cream or like a leave-in conditioner, one or the other. If your hair's really, really thick and really dense and really dry, you're probably going to be looking at something a little bit thicker, more of like a buttery type leave-in. And if you know that your hair gets prone to over moisturization or weigh down, stick with something lighter, a bit like this one that I mentioned. This is like a really light leave-in conditioning spray. So that's one styler I would definitely recommend. And then the second one is a hold product. Something that's going to help encourage the definition and keep the curls sort of in place. And that could be either a gel or a mousse. Some people like to use both, but if we're just simplifying it down, I would go for a gel or a mousse. If you feel like you do need a lot of hold and you need a lot of help and encouragement, or you really struggle with frizz, maybe look at something a bit more stronger hold. Gels typically will say on the back how light or how strong they are, so make sure you're looking at the ingredients and looking at the directions on gels that you see in shops and things. There are so many affordable gels and mousses. I might do an entirely different video on this. Here's an example of a gel and a mousse, or one or the other you could look at. This is the Weather Shockwaves Volume Mousse. This actually says that it offers UV protection, and I didn't notice that before, but that's really good. But yeah, I really love this mousse. And this is the Curl Jelly from Umberto Giannini. I used this right at the beginning of my journey. I still use it now. This is great. And they also have these jumbo sizes. Like, it's actually quite big. I bought this recently. How cute. It's a mini one, so I can take this for travel. So for products, I'll just leave it there. Start with that. Shampoo, condition, cream, gel, or mousse. Okay, a silk or satin scrunchie, so that you can just tie your hair up with this and you know it's not snagging or breaking. I like these small black ones because these really blend in with my hair, and I use them like I would a hair bubble. So yeah, I would recommend at least having one of those. And then brushes and combs. A detangling brush. This one's from Tangle Teaser. I like to clump my hair with this and detangle it in the shower, so 2 in 1. This is like all you need. And a comb. Optional, but I'm going to include it because you might have seen I've recently been talking a lot about how I like to separate my clumps with a comb, and that tip alone has really been a game changer for when I style my hair. So I'm going to mention it, but I think when I bought this it was actually 99p, but now I believe it's £1.50, but this is from Boots. Okay, so nearly everything I've just spoken about is from Boots. Boots, 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 Superdrug. I don't believe this brand is in Boots. I think it's only Superdrug right now. The last thing I'm going to suggest is a silk or satin pillowcase. You can get these on Amazon, but that alone is really going to help you reduce breakage, friction at night, and your hair is actually just going to last longer because you're not messing it up at night. If you're someone that wants to get your hair dry as quickly as possible, I do think a diffuser is important, but that doesn't mean you have to go and buy the Dyson or something like that. Try and find something for your existing hairdryer. Go and look at universal diffuser attachments and make sure they measure up and they're going to fit. I do feel like they are essentials, like they are things that I use constantly. I think starting simple and then getting to know your hair a bit more, getting used to like that curly hair routine that you do, and then slowly incorporating things that you think you might need or that might benefit your hair as your hair gets healthier. I'm conscious I don't want to be rambling too much, so I didn't get a chance to answer everything. But 2 of the other most asked questions was how I got my curls back. So I'm going to put a video here. Click on this video if you want to know how I got my curls back from damage, like the full story, every single thing I did. Another question that was asked a lot in this Q&A was how I sleep on my curly hair. How do I protect my curls to make them last? I just literally did a video on this, so perfect timing. Click up here and I show you exactly how I preserve my hair. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments and I'll definitely film more. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more curly content from me. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.